Today, in File Reader series, we are specifically going to learn about error reading action and error in response action. So this looked easy when you see it. You can say that it can be used when there is an error, but there is a contradictory over here. What is the difference between this both? If you go to Mirth Connect, over here you can see what we can do after processing action. But over here there are two concepts: error reading action and error in response action. This is very important concept when you are into production, when you are connected to a lot of servers and dealing with bulk data. So I want to clear all these doubts. Maybe I cannot generate a production scenario, but I will try to explain how it actually works. So in our previous video, we got to know about after processing action, where to paste the file after processing the file or delete it. Now, error reading action, what is this? What is the cause of this particular scenario? So generally, whenever you are trying to read a file and send it to any specific location from this directory and try to send it to any location, there is a scenario of getting errors. What are those errors is a major concept we are going to learn. Now, why these errors are caused? So when you are trying to pick up a file from any particular server, they might be network issues. Okay. For example, I'll go here and I'll select this particular path and I want to pick all these files. Okay, I'll have a connectivity issue. Okay, not connectivity issue. Okay, yeah, the connection is successful. That's okay. But sometimes, due to some issues with the network issues and everything, when the particular file is being read over, for example, this particular file is being read, there is a connectivity issue. And how we'll get to notify it and what we are going to do this with this particular file is all about this concept. When the connectivity issue occurs, we need to take an action. Error reading action means when there is a connectivity issue, what action you are going to take. So it's not only about the connectivity issue, there are like multiple scenarios. So what are those multiple scenarios? Like file not found, okay, or like there are permission issues. Okay. So some might have changed the password in the backends, or some might have removed the permission for this any particular Mirth DNS server. Over here you can see the local host, but in general it will be production servers. Automatically, you will lose the permission to the particular directory. Majorly, it will be when you are using FTP, SFTP, and Amazon S3. So a lot of things will happen. Here, for our understanding purpose, I'm just using a basic file reader, but in reality, there's a lot of scope of things happening. So you can lose the instance, or you can lose the access or permission instantly, or there'll be network issues which are going in the cloud. So at that time, while you're trying to read the file from the receiver over here, this error will occur. So that's the point of error reading action. So when the error reading action occurs, you can select whether to move it to specific folder or delete it. So it has been grayed out when you selected it as delete. So it is very similar to after processing action, but it is even before. This concept says what to do with the file after this has been processed in the destination, what to do with the file. But error reading action, what to do with the file even before it has been picked up from the receiver. So that's the difference. Now you need to know then what is error and response action. So that's where the complexity and the questions will raise. Error and response action occurs when the file has been picked up. The file has been picked up, and when it is moving to the destination, we have a lot of transformers and filters over here. We might have written a lot of logics. When the logic is getting executed, there will be an error. Okay, what you will do when there is an error in the file? For example, you have written a logic to use a control ID in the transformer and to do something with the MSH segment. But the problem is, like, for example, there's a file and it doesn't have any MSH segment. You can see this particular file is empty. For our understanding, I just kept it empty. It might it might be anything else, right? So error will occur. There's a scope of chance. Someone might be pasting wrong file over here. So what should it happen? And we should really know if the file has a corrupted data. In this particular scenario, we are going to use error in response action. That particular scenario is nothing but file has wrong data, and for example, when the file is executing, there might be some values which are required not present in the file, not present in the file. So what you're going to do with this file, you're not going to process them, right? So you are going to create another folder, for example, error in process action or whatever it is. For example, I'll rename it with this particular logic, error in response action. Okay, and I'm going to paste all those files over here. So maybe this might have happened in the midnight. You can come in early in the morning and look over the file. What is the issue? You can give the same path over here. When error in processing action occurs, you can give it to move directory and you can work whatever it is when. And now you can see over here I said when you are unable to read the file, you delete it. But when you are able to read the file and when you're trying to execute, you got an error, move it to this particular folder. So these two are two different concepts. Okay. For example, if you select move and move, whether it is error in reading action or whether it is error in respond action, it is going to move over here. So the rest of the files will process automatically without any issues. So we need to make sure these two concepts are thoroughly read. Maybe this issue will occur once in a lifetime. We really don't know how might this scenario will exist, but we should always make sure this particular pattern, we should know it before and we should set. So most of the time we completely ignore, we keep it as none. But in the production, when you keep it as none, it's almost like it can be stuck, or you might get a lot of errors, and your log might be fully filled with a lot of issues like this, similar to like this, and you will face a lot of trouble. So in real time, it's always good to choose a particular action. If it has been given, right? If it has been given, you should choose it, and you should always be ready for the real-time scenarios. Now, I think the doubt has been cleared between what is the difference between error in reading action, error in response action, and after processing action. So if you want me to keep it in the sequence, what I'll say, yeah, error in reading action is the first when error occurs in the reading. Error in response action is second when there's a transformation and there's an error. And the last one, after processing action, would be the third, which is nothing but what should we do with the file after processing it. So it should be in this logic, 1, 2, and 3. If I'm a Mirth designer, I would have given it in the sequence, but really right, most of them will ignore these two concepts. So that's the reason even Mirth have given after processing action before, because that is where it is important, and errors will occur very rarely, so they give it before at the bottom. That's it. I think we have learned two concepts, and third one would be the sequence of this occurrences of this particular errors and actions. So I think you covered this topic well, and you are good enough to take the action in future. Thank you. Have a great day.